Teachers are asking for access to the COVID-19 vaccine. They say they are essential and they're very exposed to the virus. They had the support of some Florida lawmakers, but the governor holds the ultimate decision. On your side's Ken Amarillo has been talking with lawmakers and teachers about this issue, and there's a lot of emotion for good reason about this.
That's correct, Jeannie. I spoke with State Representatives Angie Dixon and Tracy Davis, and those two are clearly in support of teachers becoming a priority in receiving their COVID-19 vaccine. Teachers tell me they're essential. They need the vaccine.
In Duval County classrooms, teachers are trying to understand why they're not a priority for the COVID-19 vaccine.
It's a daily concern for thousands of us that are going into the schools. Are we safe?
Many have taken to social media to express frustrations and concerns. Some teachers reportedly left the classroom for their own safety. Chris Gary is a veteran special education teacher.
There are a lot other things they should be doing.
Duval County School Board last Friday wrote Governor Ron DeSantis asking him to make educators and school-related personnel a priority for the COVID vaccine. The letter states, "It ensures that our staff is healthy and confident to finish off the remainder of the school year."
It took 3 deaths, 3 Duval County family deaths for that to happen. They should have been doing that in December.
State Representative Angie Dixon agrees with making educators top priority.
They should definitely be vaccinated. They are essential workers and they take care of our kids.
Since August, the start of the school year, there have been 1,241 reported cases in Duval County Public Schools, 397 among staff, the majority among students. Nixon is a COVID-19 survivor and parent of a school-aged child, and says she understands fully the educators' concerns.
They need to be a #1 priority, especially since they come into contact with our children.
Now, no response from the governor as yet regarding the letter the school board sent him on Friday, but today, as you know, he was in town and the question was asked and he basically sidestepped the question. The governor did imply that if Johnson & Johnson supplied vaccines to the state of Florida, then Florida will probably take a second look at its list of priority as to who should get vaccines first and who should wait. Back to you.